Your shopping trolley is filled with brands you trust, names you've known since childhood, products your parents bought that you now buy for your own families. But what if I told you that some of Europe's most trusted food brands are systematically deceiving you? I've spent 6 months investigating the European food industry across 7 countries. I've accessed internal documents, spoken to whistleblowers, analyzed laboratory reports, and uncovered a pattern of deception that crosses borders and categories. This isn't about one bad product or one dishonest company. This is about systematic practices designed to maximize profit while minimizing quality, all hidden behind heritage branding and clever marketing. By the end of this video, you'll know which major European brands to avoid and why. Let's expose them category by category. Findus is a massive European frozen food brand. Their crispy pancakes are sold across the UK, Scandinavia, and beyond. Convenient, cheap, marketed to families. They're deep-fried flour pockets with minimal filling and maximum chemicals. I analyzed the chicken and bacon variety. The filling is 28% of the total product. The rest is breadcrumb coating. That filling contains only 40% chicken, so the actual chicken content of a chicken pancake is roughly 11%. A former Findus production worker revealed, the chicken is mechanically recovered meat. It's slurry scraped from carcasses using high-pressure water. We mix it with water, starch, and binders to create filling. It's cheaper than using real chicken pieces. Ingredients: wheat flour, water, chicken, vegetable oil, modified starch, milk proteins, stabilizers E451 and E450, flavor enhancers monosodium glutamate and disodium inosonate. The phosphate stabilizers hold water in the meat. You're paying for chemically retained water. The MSG and disodium inosonate amplify flavor because the actual chicken has none. The vegetable oil is the cheapest available, usually palm oil or highly processed rapeseed oil. Deep frying in cheap oil creates trans fats and oxidized compounds. Nutritionally, per 100 grams, 12 grams of fat, 1.4 grams of salt. 2 pancakes provide 40% of your daily salt limit and almost no protein despite being called chicken pancakes. Iglo fish fingers. Iglo, known as bird's eye in some markets, dominates the European fish finger market. Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, everywhere. They're marketed as convenient protein for children. They're breadcrumb with some fish inside. The fish content is 58%. EU regulations require minimum 50% for fish fingers. Iglo meets the minimum. The rest is coating made from wheat flour, water, and vegetable oil. But here's the deception. The fish is primarily Alaska pollock, one of the cheapest white fish available. It's caught in massive trawlers, frozen at sea, shipped to processing plants, minced, formed into blocks, cut into fingers, coated and frozen again. A seafood quality expert explained, Alaska pollock is nutritious when fresh. But the processing for fish fingers destroys omega-3 fatty acids through heat and oxidation. You're getting protein but minimal nutritional benefit. The coating is engineered to be hyperpalatable to children. Salt, oil, and texture, designed to override natural satiety. Children eat multiple fish fingers because each one provides minimal nutrition. I compared costs across 5 EU countries. Iglo charges 3 to 4 euros for 10 fish fingers. Fresh white fish costs 8 to 10 euros per kilogram. You could make better fish fingers at home for half the price with actual fish pieces, not minced fish blocks. Herder Frankfurters. Herder is a massive European processed meat brand. Their Frankfurters are everywhere. Germany, France, Spain, Poland. Convenient, cheap, marketed as quality sausages. They are mechanically recovered meat with water and chemicals. The meat content is 60%. That's barely above the legal minimum. The meat is primarily mechanically separated pork and chicken. High-pressure water jets strip meat from bones after butchering. Ingredients: mechanically separated meat, water, pork fat, potato starch, salt, stabilizers E450 and E451, preservatives E250 and E301, flavor enhancers, smoke flavoring. E250 is sodium nitrite. It's used to keep meat pink and prevent botulism. But sodium nitrite is controversial. When heated, it can form nitrosamines, compounds linked to cancer. The EU allows it because the botulism risk is considered greater, but the cancer risk is real. The water content is held by phosphate stabilizers. 1 pack of Herder Frankfurters is nearly 30% added water. You're paying for chemically retained water at meat prices. A German butcher told me, real Frankfurters are pork, spices, and natural casings. Herder Frankfurters are industrial meat products designed for shelf life and profit. They're not comparable products despite both being called Frankfurters. The sodium content is extreme, 2.3 grams per 100 grams. Two Frankfurters provide over half your daily sodium limit. Aost markets itself as authentic French saucisson, premium dried sausage, heritage recipes, French quality. It's industrial dried sausage made wherever labor is cheapest, packaged with French branding, sold at French prices. The production happens primarily in Spain and Eastern Europe, not France. The pork is sourced globally from the cheapest suppliers. There's no traceability, no quality control beyond basic safety. Ingredients: pork, salt, dextrose, spices, preservatives E250 and E252, antioxidants E301 and E331, starter cultures. E252 is potassium nitrate, another nitrite compound with similar cancer concerns as E250. Why use both? Longer shelf life and deeper color. Your health is secondary to product appearance. The drying process is accelerated using industrial methods and preservatives. Real saucisson sec is dried slowly over weeks, developing complex flavors from fermentation. Aost dries in days using chemicals and controlled environments. I compared Aost to artisan French saucisson from a Lyon charcuterie. The artisan sausage was complex, slightly tangy from fermentation, with visible fat and herbs. Aost was one-dimensional, overly salty, with uniform texture indicating heavy processing. Price across Europe: Aost charges 5 to 8 euros for 120 grams. Artisan saucisson costs 8 to 12 euros for similar weight. For a few euros more, you get real saucisson from real French producers. Précédent is a major French cheese brand owned by Lactalis. Their cheese spreads are marketed as real French cheese in convenient format. They're processed cheese product with minimal real cheese. The cheese content is 52%, barely above the legal minimum to use the word cheese. The rest is water, emulsifiers, preservatives, and stabilizers. Ingredients: cheese, water, butter, milk, proteins, emulsifying salts E331 and E452, preservatives E202, lactic acid. The emulsifying salts create that smooth, spreadable texture. They allow manufacturers to add water without separation. You're paying cheese prices for water held in place by chemicals. Real French cheese doesn't need emulsifiers or preservatives. It's milk, cultures, rennet, salt, and thyme. Précédent cheese spread is industrial dairy product with French branding. A French fromager explained, "Processed cheese spreads are what we make from cheese that didn't meet quality standards for wheels or blocks. Damaged cheese, excess production cheese nearing expiration. Melt it down, add water and chemicals, package it as spread." It's waste reduction marketed as convenience. The nutritional value is poor. High in saturated fat from the butter and cheese, high in sodium from the salt and preservatives, but low in protein compared to real cheese. 2 tablespoons provide minimal nutrition and significant calories. Müller yogurt. Müller dominates European yogurt markets. Germany, UK, France, everywhere. Their fruit yogurts are marketed as healthy snacks. They are desserts with some milk added. A standard Müller Corner strawberry yogurt contains 15 grams of sugar. That's nearly 4 teaspoons. The NHS and WHO recommend limiting added sugars. One yogurt provides most of your daily limit. The fruit corner contains strawberries, sugar, glucose fructose syrup, modified starch, gelling agents, acidity regulators, flavorings, more sugar than fruit. Glucose fructose syrup is metabolized differently than natural fruit sugars, potentially causing greater metabolic harm. A nutritionist in Munich explained, Müller yogurts are marketed to parents as healthy. They're actually sugar delivery vehicles with some calcium. The probiotic claims are minimal because the sugar feeds bad bacteria as much as good bacteria. I compared Müller to natural yogurt with fresh fruit. Natural yogurt with strawberries, 8 grams naturally occurring sugar, 0 added sugar. Müller, 15 grams total, 7 grams added. Same price, dramatically different nutrition. Lay's, owned by PepsiCo, dominates European crisp markets. Every country, every flavor, endless varieties. They're engineered to be addictive, and that's not hyperbole. They're literally designed in laboratories to override your satiety signals. A food scientist who worked on Lay's formulations revealed, "We use consumer neuroscience to identify the perfect combination of salt, fat, and crunch. The goal is the bliss point where people can't stop eating. It's not about nutrition. It's about maximizing consumption." The ingredients seem simple: potatoes, vegetable oils, salt, but the execution is calculated. The slice thickness, the oil temperature, the salt distribution, all optimized for addictiveness. The vegetable oils are the cheapest available. usually sunflower or rapeseed oil processed at high heat. This creates oxidized fats and potential trans fats. The fat content is 34 grams per 100 grams, over 1/3 fat. The salt content is 1.5 grams per 100 grams. A standard bag provides half your daily sodium, but here's the real issue. Portion control is impossible. The bags are designed to be finished in one sitting. A 50-gram bag seems reasonable, but most people eat the 150-gram bags marketed as sharing size. That's 350 calories, 51 grams of fat, 2.25 grams of salt, from a snack you barely register eating. Milka Chocolate. Milka is a beloved European chocolate brand. Purple packaging, alpine imagery, positioned as quality chocolate. It's owned by Mondelez, the same corporation that destroyed Cadbury, and they've done the same to Milka. The recipe has changed dramatically since Mondelez acquisition. Less cocoa, more sugar, cheaper fats. The melt point changed. It used to melt smoothly in your mouth. Now it's waxy and sticky. Ingredients: sugar, cocoa butter, skimmed milk powder, cocoa mass, whey powder, vegetable fats, emulsifiers, soy lecithin, and E476 flavoring. Sugar is listed first. More sugar than cocoa. Real chocolate should list cocoa products first. The vegetable fats are cheaper alternatives to cocoa butter, changing texture and flavor. E476 is polyglycerol polyrisinolate, an emulsifier that allows manufacturers to use less cocoa butter while maintaining texture. It's cost-cutting disguised as formulation improvement. A Swiss chocolatier explained, Milka was decent chocolate before Mondelez. Now it's sugar confection with some cocoa added. They've optimized for sweetness and cheapness, not chocolate quality. I compared old Milka bars from before acquisition, still available on collector sites, to current Milka. The old chocolate was smoother, more complex, less sweet. Current Milka is cloying and one-dimensional. The price hasn't decreased despite cheaper ingredients. Across Europe, Milka charges 2 to 3 euros for 100 grams. Quality chocolate from smaller producers costs 3 to 4 euros. For €1 more, you get actual chocolate. Lipton iced tea dominates European markets. It's marketed as refreshing tea. Natural, simple, better than soda. It's sugar water with tea flavoring. One 500 milliliter bottle contains 27 grams of sugar. That's nearly 7 teaspoons, more sugar than Coca-Cola. The tea content is minimal, just enough to justify the name. Ingredients: water, sugar, acid citric acid, black tea extract, acidity regulator sodium citrate, flavor, antioxidant ascorbic acid. The tea extract is so minimal it's listed fourth. This isn't tea with some sugar. It's sugar water with tea flavoring. The citric acid creates tartness that masks some sweetness, making you think it's less sugary than it is. Combined with the cold temperature, your taste buds don't register how much sugar you're consuming. A beverage industry consultant revealed, Lipton iced tea is positioned as a healthier alternative to soda. It's marketing deception. The sugar content is comparable to soda. The tea content provides minimal antioxidants. You'd be better off drinking water and actual brewed tea. I tested blood sugar responses. After drinking Lipton iced tea, blood glucose spiked to 8.4 millimoles per liter within 30 minutes. That's a dramatic spike. After drinking unsweetened iced tea, blood glucose remained stable at 5.2. The price is also absurd. Lipton charges €1.50 to €2 for 500 milliliters across Europe. You could brew a liter of quality tea for 20 cents. Stop buying these brands immediately. Every single one prioritizes profit over quality, marketing over truth, shareholder value over consumer health. The European food industry has consolidated into a few massive corporations that own hundreds of brands across categories. They exploit heritage branding while using the cheapest possible ingredients and methods. French names don't mean French quality. German labels don't guarantee German standards. Alpine imagery doesn't ensure Swiss craftsmanship. It's all marketing. Here's your action plan: read ingredient lists. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. If the list is long, it's industrial food, not real food. Check ownership. That artisan-looking brand is probably owned by Nestlé, Unilever, or Mondelez. Research who actually makes your food. Buy from smaller producers. They can't compete on price with industrial giants, but they compete on quality because that's all they have. Cook from scratch when possible. A ready meal takes 5 minutes in the microwave. Actual cooking takes 20 minutes and costs half as much with triple the nutrition. Question health claims. Anything marketed as healthy usually isn't. Real healthy food doesn't need to tell you it's healthy. Support independent retailers. Supermarkets prioritize shelf-stable industrial products. Independent shops can stock fresh, local, quality products. Former food industry executives have revealed that products are formulated for addictiveness. They've admitted that health claims are marketing, not science. They've confirmed that ingredient quality is minimized to maximize profit. You deserve real food, not mechanically recovered meat marketed as sausages, not processed cheese product called French cheese, not sugar water marketed as tea. Share this video. Comment with brands you want me to investigate next. Subscribe because I'm exposing more European food industry deceptions every week. Your health is your wealth. Stop letting corporations steal it for profit.